We are recording in 3, 2, 1. Hi there, and welcome back to the Beauty Birds podcast and our 20th episode. It's been a minute since we recorded a brand new episode to go out like in the same span of a week. So we thought we'd give it the proper introduction treatment this time. We are Tara and Becca, your beauty birds and resident makeup nerds on this small corner of the internet. With lipstick on and usually drinks in hand, we talk all things beauty, skincare, industry, and money. We write a blog post to go along with every episode, so if you want to check out what glitter Tara has graced us with this week, or that YouTuber we mentioned, it'll all be on our website at beautybirdspodcast.com.
And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome and thank you for joining us. We'd kindly like to remind all of our listeners that there are just a couple of non-negotiables when it comes to how we do things. Science is real, love is love, trans rights are human rights, respect people's pronouns, Black Lives Matter, and yes, you have to wear a mask if you're going to be around other people.
While we are a beauty podcast, not a news source for politics or human rights, it was unreasonable for us to move forward without addressing the very justified civil unrest and political upheaval currently taking place over the last few months. While Tara and I are both doing the work to move through our personal lives as well as our endeavors in the beauty world with an improving anti-racist lens, we are ultimately here to talk about makeup and have fun. We hope that all who are interested in the subject feel that this is a safe space for them to participate and enjoy, and we look forward to bringing all of you more self-deprecating humor, money lessons, and news on the newest goodies. With that in mind, for the first time in ages, even though this week we have no video, Tara, please tell me what is on your face and what is in your face.
Okay, I'm going to tell you two very exciting products that I've been using the heck out of since I got to Florida, which, by the way, moved to Florida. I have been using the Sol de Janeiro, what is it called? The like glitter oil that they have, the glow oil. In the color Master Flash. It is like a translucent base with like turquoise reflex, but like a white gold kind of shift to it.
That sounds awesome.
I feel like it was meant to be used on your shoulder and like that area, but I've kind of been using it as a highlight on my cheeks.
That sounds lovely.
It is really fun. And then obviously all the Terra Moon neon eyeshadows, because now that I'm in sunlight, nothing is more fun than also being neon.
Welcome to the land of, I was going to say the land of the living, the land of all the sunshine.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Devin the other day was like, "Are you tired of palm trees yet?" And I was just like, "Are you crazy? No."
It's funny that you mentioned that because I also have a highlighter to talk about today.
Go ahead.
Per your, well, not necessarily encouragement, but you're the one that sent it to me. I've been a fan of Ritual de Fille for quite a few years now, and I have a couple of their like cream luminizers, and they have a new formula called the Metamorphic Highlighter. And I ordered the shade The Chimera, which is like glittery green.
It is so pretty.
I can't even, it's so nice. It's like a little bit green, but I don't feel like it's unwearably green. And it's got that sheen where like when you turn your head sideways, it kind of disappears. And then it's like, boom, yeah. I'm there again. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
I'll have to post some pictures on our Instagram.
And then what are you drinking?
I made a really bizarro concoction, but you just need to know that the base of it is tequila and mezcal and Topo Chico, and then there's citrus and a bunch of other weird things in there. I just kind of threw everything into a cup. You
have introduced me to the world of Topo Chico, and it is amazing.
I'm so glad that you love it. Topo Chico, please sponsor.
Speaking of tequila, though, I also have some tequila, but with Spindrift pineapple as the base.
I love Spindrift. I didn't even know that they had a pineapple one, and now I'm going to find it this week.
So it's their new flavor, and I ordered it on Amazon, and you can only order things like that in bulk from there, so I ended up getting 3 cases of it. It was a really big gamble. I was hoping I'd love it.
They're grapefruit. I can drink with, like, reckless abandon.
All of their flavors are so good. They're kind of like, I treat them more as, like, snacks, I guess, where it's like, if I'm bored and I know I don't need to be going to the pantry to like eat something because I'm bored, I'll crack open a Spindrift.
That's how I feel with Topo Chico. I always add a little bit of lemon juice.
Yeah.
Make it fancy.
So what are we doing today?
Today, we are going to go on a mutual learning experience about fragrance and perfumes and that world, whether it's actual perfume or like lotions, candles, things that smell good, bad, kind of okay, things that we're in love with. We're going to learn a little bit together about the basics of fragrance, I guess.
Yep.
But we thought that no video this week, this would be a good one because you don't really need to see us to talk about how things smell. So I wanted to start with the very basics, which I also just learned today when Googling it to prepare for this episode. But basically, all of the smells and fragrances and perfumes that we like or buy or that exist belong to 4 families or like 4 categories of fragrance. There's floral notes, fresh notes, woody notes, and I don't even want to say this. The 4th category is still in 2020 referred to as oriental notes, which is just like so unnecessarily racist and bizarre.
But here we are.
But here we are. Each of these categories is further split into 3 sections. And then like, it's kind of like a color wheel where at the end of this, we'll start to connect to the beginning of that section. So for example, under floral, there's floral and soft floral, but then it connects to floral oriental. And then oriental has soft oriental, oriental, and woody oriental. So not only are you racist as fuck, you also have given me no information about what this actually smells like.
Yeah, I actually don't know what that means.
It looks like the wheel that I'm looking at, it has under that category is stuff like incense, amber, resins, sandalwood, and patchouli. I know that Sephora categorizes these fragrances as warm and spicy.
Which is way more helpful to like someone like me who doesn't know what that means.
Right? Like not only is that not racist, you're also getting so much more information about what the product actually is. So to the best of our ability for the remainder of this episode and moving forward in my life, not that I've ever referred to the fragrance wheel before, but let's try to call it warm and spicy or spiced or something actually useful and not just unnecessarily derogatory.
Right.
Fair?
Fair.
Okay, so what I've learned in my very basic Googling is that this does work a lot like the color wheel, where as you go from one section, it starts to overlap with the next one. So like woody notes will have woody and mossy wood and dry wood, and then it'll go into fresh notes where like it starts to overlap with kind of water and citrus type scents.
Okay.
And in mixing fragrances, it kind of works the same way, where if you want to pair one, you'd look to see like what's directly opposite it. Right? There's a word for that in the color wheel.
Oh my God, am I the worst artist to ever live?
But basically, you want them to be equidistant from one another, whether it's 2 or 3 scents that you're pairing.
Is it complementary?
Maybe?
Oh, it's like the opposite of complementary.
Okay, so the subfamilies of floral notes are fruity, floral, soft floral, and floral, warm and spicy.
Okay.
Fruity is sweet, edible, and tropical, like peach, pear, and apple. And I personally know for a fact that Tara really likes to live here.
That's my jam.
Floral smells like fresh cut flowers. Imagine rose and lily. Soft floral is probably more like what your grandma's wearing, which is soft, powdery, and sweet with a little bit of creaminess to it.
And which, fun fact, is like why I used to hate perfume.
Right, because those are like the earliest scent memories with people, is always that like very floral, powdery smell. I really remember the smell of my grandma used to have this large thing of like face powder with a huge poof.
Yeah.
And like I didn't really like perfume for a very long time. I had like one fragrance, that was all I wore forever. And the 4th under floral, where it starts to lead into warm and spicy, is florals with subtle spice notes.
Okay. I feel like I would enjoy that one.
Yeah, I think the example Oh, it doesn't actually say specifically. The website that I'm on, and I'll include this link in the blog post, actually gives a couple of specific examples. So it says under floral that Red Door by Elizabeth Arden and Bloom by Gucci like fit into that. I don't know what either of those two are, but I'm going to include it in the blog post.
Okay. Yeah, that actually is very helpful.
Even though we're not using the word and we're going to say warm and spicy instead, the description just reads so like it's just really racist. This fragrance family consists of rich exotic scents. When you think of these scents, think herbs and spices or dry, powdery resin notes. Opulent and heady, these notes are oftentimes softened with amber or sweetness. It's common to describe this family as exotic and seductive.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
That's just, we took all the stereotypes of like the Eastern world and shoved them all into sentences. So the soft subfamily is soft floral notes mixed with incense and warm spices. Warm and spicy is sweet, warm notes like cinnamon, vanilla, and musk. And then the woody part, as it starts to get into that next section, is earthy notes like patchouli and sandalwood mixed with spicy and sweet notes, which is interesting that they're together because I love sandalwood and I absolutely despise patchouli.
Yeah, same.
Like maybe as it exists in nature, or I believe in like some ceremonial usage, but like I don't want to wear it as a fragrance.
Agreed.
So common notes are vanilla, myrrh, anise. How do you say it? Anise. And one of the fragrance examples is Obsession from Calvin Klein.
Okay.
Then it leads into woods or woody fragrances, which is where I like to hang out a lot. Woody perfumes are usually warm and opulent, mixing incense-like fragrances like sandalwood and patchouli with drier notes like cedar. To tone down the warmth, fragrances will sometimes incorporate some fresh notes like citrus or floral. That's like where all my stuff usually is. It's like half woody and half like water and citrus. Notes in this family can be described as coniferous, woody, and bitter. I don't think I've ever described a fragrance as coniferous. Coniferous? I don't know how to say that. So the woods subfamily is aromatic scents like cedarwood, sandalwood, and vetiver. Mossy woods are sweet, smooth, and earthy like oak moss and amber. And dry woods are smoldering and smoky mixed with leather aromas. Okay. Polo by Ralph Lauren is one of the examples. And finally, we have the fresh category, which encompasses clean, bright scents. Herby, citrusy, and oceanic all fall into this category. More often used in men's fragrances than women's fragrances, fresh scents are paired with spicy notes to create a more robust fragrance. I feel like a lot of the unisex, ungendered fragrances also have a lot of those kind of smells.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Actually, I think all of my favorite perfumes are like gender neutral.
Okay.
Subfamilies include aromatic, which is clean and fresh herbs mixed with lavender or woody scents. Citrus, which is zesty or tangy notes like mandarins or bergamot, which I love. Yeah. Water, aquatic scents that smell of sea spray or rain mixed with oceanic notes.
Speaking my language.
Oh, or rain mixed with, or oceanic, oh no, weird wording. And then green, which is smells of freshly mowed lawns and crushed green leaves.
Love it.
Common notes are sage, bergamot, and grapefruit. And Acqua di Gio by Giorgio Armani is one of the examples.
Okay.
I feel like I learned a bunch of things.
I did too.
So I'm going to go and say that you like to hang out where fresh meets floral.
Exactly.
So like fruity, soft floral, not soft floral, but
fruity and like beachy smells. I love like any kind of like sand day at the beach kind of smells. Any pineapple-y, papaya, fruity smells. And then Marc Jacobs Daisy definitely falls in that floral category, less fruity.
I
It's
love
not
that. And I'm more in the woody and fresh, though I'm okay with like a spicy note here and there.
Now that you've mentioned the spicy notes, I don't know how it relates to perfume for me yet, but I love spicy chai tea. And whenever I smell it when I'm wearing it, I'm just like, this is the most delicious thing ever. So now I'm wondering if there is a spicy chai tea perfume.
I actually have a tea perfume. It's one of my favorites. It's from Commodity,
Oh,
which
yeah.
we were just talking about. It's actually one of my favorite perfume brands. I like have dropped money for Commodity fragrances. They went out of business last year, and then from my understanding, a wealthy investor who was a big fan was like, no, I love this fragrance, I'm bringing it back. And so they have recently relaunched. I actually was signed up for all the emails for information, and they sent me a $25 gift card.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I have 2 full sizes from them, and one of them is tea, and it says the crisp aromatic blend conveys the comfort of relaxing with a warm cup of tea. An infusion of rich honey, oolong tea, Egyptian basil, and warm tobacco. And I also like, one of the other things that we want to talk about in understanding fragrances is like top, mid, and base notes.
Right.
And they not only give you what each of those are, but also explain what that means on their website, which I really like because I don't know shit about buying perfume. I don't know what any of this means. I'm like, cool, there's citrus, I want it. There's sea salt, there's citrus, there's tobacco, like I'm in. But I hate when you go to buy stuff and they're like, well, obviously you understand what it means that it's eau de parfum and not eau de toilette. Like, I don't know what that shit means.
I don't know what that means.
So on the Commodity Fragrances website, they say that top notes are recognized immediately upon application of the perfume. In the case of the tea fragrance, it's cassis, honey, mandarin, and Egyptian basil. The mid notes are the quote unquote heart notes that appear once the top notes evaporate, which is oolong tea, Damascus rose, and tonka. I'm actually really surprised that it has rose because I typically hate rose scent. I don't like rose anything. It's used a lot in like Middle Eastern and Israeli cooking, and particularly desserts. There's like rose water in a lot of stuff, and I hate it. And the base notes are the final fragrance notes that appear once the top notes are completely evaporated, which are tobacco, Indian sandalwood, white patchouli, and cashmere musk. So apparently I have no clue what I like, since this has both rose and patchouli, and I love it. Anyway, that's what I got so far.
That was
things
incredibly helpful.
All right, so tell me what you love.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am not like the biggest perfume person on my persons right now. I only have 2 perfumes. One is how do we pronounce this again? The Moschino?
I think it's Moschino. I believe the rich people pronounce it Moschino.
Okay, the Moschino Fresh, because it was a gift with purchase from Sephora, and it's in the packaging is a little squirt bottle.
Yeah, like the Windex thing.
Yeah, it looks like a little Windex thing. So here's the thing. I will buy anything with really cool packaging. And it was a gift with purchase, and I was like, I just need to try it. And you know what? It actually kind of was a home run for scents. And I think that one falls under like the fresh category. I'm going to open it up to look at the notes now. Because I do really stay in that like limited area.
Oh, I don't know if Sephora carries it anymore.
No, they do. A surprising and ironic perfume, Fresh Couture plays with fresh and joyful accents and a tempting femininity. A sparkling and compelling top note of bright mandarin and bergamot is enriched with intense and exotic character of Yang Yang?
It's YLA.
Yeah.
I don't actually know how to say it correctly.
God, we're the worst at this. Yeah, so
it's a nice smelling flower, I believe.
Okay. A juicy and inviting touch of raspberry, which is where it kind of drew me in, adds colorful and amusing contrast to the floral heart of an elegant white peony and velvety osmanthus. The dry down underlines the refined and contemporary character of the perfume with a luminous, sensual trail of clear woods, white patchouli, and I have no idea what scents I like. I'm having the same identity crisis as you, but it sounds like, I mean, this one is called fresh. It sounds like it falls within the realm of like.
That's interesting. I always kind of brushed it off because I thought it was going to be very sweet because of the raspberry.
Yeah.
It says that it's fresh, joyful, and feminine. Normally
Yeah.
the stuff that says that it's feminine, I find too sweet. But I
So,
know that you like sweeter fragrances than I do.
I like sweeter, and I will say that this doesn't fall into the sweet category for me. I can tell you one that does fall into the sweet category because I own it.
I bought you a candle when
Yeah.
Marsh was born. That was like something very tropical.
Oh my god, I remember. It was something like at the beach. It was so good. It was definitely mostly pineapple.
Yeah, it was like pineapple coconut something. And I remember you telling me how much you liked it. And I smelled it when it arrived because I was sending it to you, and it was like my worst nightmare.
I've gone on a wild goose chase on Etsy for a scent. So I was telling you this off screen, but there's this one lotion from World Market, Cost Plus World Market,
Mm-hmm.
that
place.
smells like, oh, I love it there, like a day at the, like it coming home from the beach is the best way I can describe it, because it smells like sunscreen, but it also smells like pineapple and papaya and like coconut and mango and like every single fruity scent. And like the important part here is like the sunscreen smell. It has like an underlying day at the beach smell without the sand, without the water, like doesn't smell like that. Exclusively sunscreen and fruit. And I looked on the website, and I've even looked like on third-party sites. No one has it anymore. It's gone.
Have you smelled Beach Walk, the replica fragrance from Maison Margiela?
No, but I'm going to Google it right now.
The full size is very expensive. Don't freak out. The mini spray is $30, but it's bergamot, heliotrope, and coconut milk. It says the scent of salt air, the perfume of sunscreen, the glow of sun-kissed skin.
The salt and the air is where I think it strays away from what it is, because anything that has like the salt beach smell isn't quite it.
Oh man, anything with salt, anything sea salt, I will buy. Two of my favorite fragrances are Jo Malone, Wood Sage, and Sea Salt. And then I don't want to say it's a fake fragrance. I don't want to say it's a favorite because I just got it, but I bought Salt Air from Skylar.
Okay.
I actually feel like it's sweeter than I wanted when I bought it, but it says driftwood, sea salt, and seaweed.
Seaweed I can get behind.
I do really like it. The longer I have it, and I like every couple days will put it on myself and sniff it again because I've been like trying to decide if I should keep it.
Yeah.
I think it's a winner. It really smells like, it makes me think of being at Ocean City.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I think a lot of like my reasoning for loving the like scents or the fruity scents is because I really just like, I love the memories of being down the shore.
That is absolutely valid. And our fragrance is like a major memory trigger. I don't know how to word this correctly, but it's like it's one of the most potent ways to like bring us back to a memory.
Yeah.
I used to only have one perfume at a time because my mom would be like, you can only have one perfume. So like, this is the smell that's associated with you. So that when people smell it, they will think of you. Which is very really sweet. Yeah. But then like I started watching YouTube, and I don't go quite this far. There's a lot of YouTubers who are like, oh, I buy a new perfume every time I go on vacation or like a big trip. So then like every time I smell that, it's associated, like it brings me back to that trip as the memory.
You know who I remember saying that? Kathleen Lights.
Maybe it was her, but I feel like Fleur de Force has said similar. I'm not really on board with buying a new perfume every time I travel.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But I do think it's important to like think about what fragrances you're bringing with you when you travel.
Yeah, which is something I've never done.
If you are wearing it every day, it will like, I mean, not necessarily, but often if it's a very strong memory and you really love the scent, like in future, you will associate them together.
Yeah. So yeah, I went on like a mid burning search because I'm still looking for something that smells like this lotion from Cost Plus. I want to like put it in little sample jars and send it off to Etsy perfume makers and just be like, make me this smell.
Oh, you still have some?
Oh yeah, I refuse to use it. It's just sitting at the bottom of my well, it's in a box now, but it's just sitting like in my bathroom underneath the sink usually.
Can you like mix it with a body oil or something and stretch out the usage of it?
I haven't tried that yet, but I'm sure I can.
Just a thought.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But yeah, I'm looking through all of my like perfume purchases because I went on this crazy search on Etsy to find something similar, and every single one is notes of tropical mango, papaya, and pineapple because those are definitely the like standout scents.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one thing that came very close, I would say like nearly identical, was a candle from DW Home. And it was the pineapple papaya candle.
My mom likes those too. I actually also had a failed perfume fragrance attempt from Etsy, but I was trying to find a like essential oil for the diffuser.
Yeah.
That came very close to Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt.
Okay.
Which, while we're talking about it, let me describe. This is kind of like the thing that got me really excited about perfume.
Okay.
It's in the fresh fragrance family. The scent type is Fresh Aquatics. The keynotes are ambrette seeds, no clue what that is, sea salt, and sage. It says, escape the everyday along the windswept shore where white waves break and the air is fresh with sea salt and spray. Alive with the mineral scent of the rugged cliffs mingled with the woody earthiness of sage, this fragrance is lively, spirited, and totally joyful.
That sounds so fun.
It does. It's really one of my favorites. I have repurchased it multiple times. That's like, I just smelled it. Oh no, it's almost empty. I didn't realize that my current one is almost gone. It's just so good.
I think I want to buy more perfumes now. Maybe I'll go back on my chase.
But you like body lotion and stuff like that to have a good smell.
I do. But body lotion never really sticks around for as long as like I want it to.
I do have a lotion from Cake, which I ordered in our search for Black-owned skincare brands. It's Cake, Kaike. And the other product I ordered didn't really work for me, but I ordered their body frosting, which comes in a little tub and is genuinely like the texture of buttercream frosting.
Yeah.
Like the kind that's been on a cake that like dried a little bit, but as soon as your fork cuts into it, it's soft inside. Like I mean that in a very good way. But it's mango butter and coconut oil.
That does sound really good.
And then it also has some vanilla oleo resin as the last ingredient. I don't know what that means, but it smells amazing. It smells like
cake.
It smells like a fresh oatmeal cream pie.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay.
That's like the only body product that I really use that has a scent to it.
Yeah. No, I really like lotions, but I like perfume if I want something to like stick around more. I have the 2 Brazilian Bum Bum creams, and here's the thing. I was like so stoked for those to be the tropical like lotions of my dream, but they don't really smell tropical at all, and I don't understand why people like praise them as the most tropical smelling things, because one is like very vanilla based, which I don't think really falls in that, like, because we just read the scent wheel, it doesn't really fall in that like fresh and fruity realm. So the traditional one, the orange one, is like that vanilla smell to it, and then the blue one that came out kind of just smells like buttered popcorn.
Does it really? I haven't smelled it.
Oh my god, it's not good. And so like I have them and I'm really disappointed, and I don't really use them that often because, like I said, with body lotions not sticking around, those stick around. So like I put it on and I'm just like, I don't want this anymore.
I think one of the most intense. Is that the right word? I consider it a very sexy fragrance that I usually reserve for special occasions.
Okay.
But I have the full size. Is it the full size of Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon?
I've heard really good things about Elizabeth and James Nirvana.
So a couple years ago, I think they have Nirvana Black and Nirvana White.
Yeah.
And then they also came out with Nirvana Bourbon and something else. There was like a couple of them as a special thing.
Okay.
And I bought Nirvana Bourbon. First of all, the packaging is beautiful. I realize y'all that are listening can't see it, but it's like this studded brown glass with like gold on the sides.
It reminds me of like the entryway to a club in Atlantic City.
Right? And it's bourbon, vanilla, tuberose, and oak wood. So I think this is the instance where that description of fragrance of it being like directly opposite.
Yeah.
Where it's like a little bit of floral and very woodsy. Oh, maybe this is the 3 one. Where they're all equidistant from each other, because it's like there is a warm and spicy, there is a floral, and there is a woody to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a special one that like people will come up to me and be like, "Oh my god, you smell good."
Now I really want to try that one. Maybe I should branch out from my like fruity and florals.
Do I have a mini of it? Oh, I don't anymore. I killed it. I used to have a mini of it. I was gonna say I'll just send it to you.
Honestly, maybe I'll just order some perfumes on Sephora soon.
I'm sorry that I did this to you.
It's okay. Sometimes I just fall. This happened before. This happened like 2 years ago. I fell down like the rabbit hole of perfumes, and then I ended up ordering a bunch of like rollerball ones. So it happens every once in a while.
I think Nordstrom still has the rollerball of Nirvana Bourbon.
Okay, I'll probably check it out there.
You should probably order it before this episode goes live.
Maybe. I don't know.
How do you feel? Well, you don't buy a ton of perfumes. I was going to ask how you feel about a rollerball versus a spray when it's a mini travel size.
No, that's a good question, because I actually do have a lot of rollerballs when I do buy perfume, just because I know I'm not going to commit to wearing it long enough to buy like the full size.
I often buy the mini.
Yeah, I prefer to buy the mini, but when it comes to availability of minis, it's usually a rollerball. Oh my goodness.
I have a lot.
So I actually prefer a spray, but usually get stuck buying a rollerball.
I forgot I had this. There's a brand called Atelier Cologne.
Okay.
I think that they're actually owned by Lancome, but I didn't know that at the time. I don't feel like they last on my skin for very long, but I think body chemistry is a big part of perfume.
Yeah.
And whatever is wrong with me with perfumes not sticking is the same thing that's wrong with me with nail polish not really staying on me. But they had a fragrance a couple years ago called Iris Rebelle, and it was kind of my first introduction where I was like, maybe I don't actually hate all the florals. It's just that like grandma associated powdery floral that I don't like. Fleur de Force is really into perfume stuff, and she has talked about them a lot over the years, and I've realized that most of the stuff she likes I hate. But it's been like gotten me interested in like trying to understand it more.
Yeah. There's actually one that showed up in my Sephora ads. Like whenever I'm on Facebook, Sephora is obviously like one of the ads that always shows up with products. I forgot the brand, but there's like a fig perfume. I'm going to look it up now because I don't.
Is it Nest?
Yes.
Sorry. It seems weird that I knew that.
No, it's not. Sorry. It's no, but the Mediterranean fig candle looks incredible. Heretic?
Oh, I don't know that brand.
Dirty Fig.
I know that my mom is listening to this, and I bet you she is Googling this as we speak. So I'm going to look it up also and save her the work.
Can I tell you the notes?
Please.
Okay, because this sounds really good. Wow. Dirty Fig is a fiercely tempting fragrance of pink fleshy figs, rich berries, and succulent fruits. The perfume opens with a crisp top note of citrus and geranium?
Geranium? I
Geranium?
think? I don't know.
Voluptuous heart chord of rose and currant, and a base chord of luscious raspberry. That sounds so good.
That sounds so good. I want to know who chose the wording voluptuous heart chord instead of like mid notes.
And
But
maybe like pink fleshy figs.
but so the keynotes are blackcurrant, grapefruit, and geranium. Holy crap. I'm putting the mini size of this. Oh, holy shit. Maybe
Yep.
not.
Did you just look at the price?
So the 15 milliliter eau de parfum spray is $65.
Sure is.
I'm pretty sure, first of all, Joe Malone is very expensive.
Yeah.
My 30 mil, so 1 ounce bottle was 70.
Oof.
And you want me to pay 65 for half of this?
I mean, it sounds really good. I'm probably going to eventually buy it. I don't know when.
Well, I loved it. Actually, apparently it was already in my loves. I think that was probably very recent.
Yeah.
Probably when I made the call to purchase the Skylar Salt Air, because that's very new. This is like my most recent Sephora order.
Okay.
Yeah, when I first opened it, I was like really not sure. Yeah. And then I just like kept sniffing myself, and then Nick smelled it, and I was like, I feel like it's sweeter than I would normally go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's halfway between what I want and what you want.
Oh, wow.
But actually, I quite like it.
All right. Maybe I'll look into it.
Yeah. I'm sorry if you can hear me like deep breathing, like heaving in my own scent.
Is this ASMR?
I don't think so. Anyway, I found the Iris Rebelle from Atelier.
Okay.
It says it's floral. The top notes are iris from Morocco. Middle is orange flower from Morocco. And the base is guaiac wood from Central America. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Guaiac. It says a cologne absolute is an inspired blend of fresh iris and lavender enriched with earthy guaiac wood. Natural iris opens up upon touching skin. Allow this perfume to bloom into an unexpected cocktail of florals and citruses on your skin.
That sounds yummy.
So basically what I've learned today is I don't know shit about what I like.
Yeah, same.
Did you want to talk about some candles that you have strong feelings about?
I would, but you're gonna yell at me for liking Bath and Body Works candles.
I'm not gonna yell at you. I think that some of their fragrances aren't bad. I personally get migraines from the wax blend.
Yeah.
And like when you have the budget to do so, consider buying candles from smaller businesses that use higher quality waxes is really my deal.
Totally understand. And that Evil Queen one you sent me, the beach one, was so good.
I currently, back in like December, when I was freshly unemployed and had no clue that a global pandemic was coming, I paid upfront for 6 months of their subscription box.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the candle that just arrived, oh my God, it is incredible. And surprise, surprise, sea salt is like one of the great.
Oh wait, you also sent me, what was that other brand? It was like Uncle Ron's.
Yeah. I have a couple of theirs too that I really like.
Is that the one that has the really hilarious descriptions?
Yes, and they're based in Philly, which is my hometown for anybody that didn't already know this somehow.
They were really cool. They have what, the Florida smells or something?
No, I think the Florida one was like a silly thing with what's that comedian's name? Ben Brainerd.
Oh, okay.
Brainerd. Uncle Ron's had that, like they have a fat wooden wick.
Yes.
But I did send you like a sweet something.
You sent me a very beachy smelling one.
That's kind of like the only sense I know to get you.
Tropical.
Yeah.
Also though, like going down, because I do love tropical and like that's definitely my favorite scent. Another perfume that I, for some reason, just can't stay away from is the DKNY like apple one. And I know there's like a million different variations, and I love them all.
I don't actually know that I've ever smelled it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's another one that like through high school, I feel like everybody had.
Was that high school? Maybe like end of high school and all through college, my fragrance of choice was Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue,
Fun.
which was like very light and citrusy. Okay, I'm looking up DKNY Be Delicious.
Yes.
It's a fruity floral, which we already have established that is totally your spot to be in. It says the keynotes are top is apple, middle is magnolia, and the base is sandalwood. I also really like sandalwood.
I think the top note, what was the top one again? Obviously
It just
apple.
said apple.
It will like absolutely just wreck you.
Okay.
I don't think you'll like it.
The description is mouth-watering fresh apple blends with crisp cucumber and sparkling grapefruit to charge the senses. Sweet magnolia and a core of violet and rose dance into a smooth finish of creamy sandalwood and white amber. That actually sounds really interesting. I'm like curious as to what apple? Because if it's like Granny Smith where it's like sharp and acidic, I could probably really get behind that.
I feel like it's Granny Smith. It's like very distinctly apple. Like you smell it and you don't think of anything else other than an apple.
I want to look up light blue and see. Dolce & Gabbana light blue for women. A fruity floral. There we go. Well, sun-drenched days and nights that linger long in memory. The light blue woman is a captivating contemporary siren, enthralling all in her wake. Here's a woman no man can resist, hence she has nothing to prove. What a creepy description.
Right.
The top is Sicilian cedar, apple, and bluebell. The middle is bamboo, jasmine, and white rose. And the base is citron wood, amber, and musk. I feel like perhaps not super different from the DKNY then.
No.
Definitely lots of crossover in that Venn diagram.
Do we still want to do the Sephora quiz?
Yes. I also had a candle I want to talk about. What order should we go in?
Let's do candle, then end it with Sephora quiz.
I, per a collaboration with the one Casey Musgraves herself, I heard of a candle company called Boy Smells.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've since fallen down a bit of a rabbit hole with, by which I mean I own 3 over the course of 6 months. I guess it's kind of a lot. They're not exactly cheap. But no, I have one candle that I really love. Unfortunately, it looks like it's been discontinued or at least is sold out. But it's MSSR. I think that's Monsieur.
I do not know.
It's Monsieur Blanchy. It's MSSR.BLANCHY. Perhaps somebody more cultured than I can tell me what that means. But the scent of it is ginger root, peppercorn, grapefruit, and leather. And I didn't even really know that candles could smell like that.
Yeah.
And it's changed my life.
I feel like
it's changed my candle life.
That is your exact flavor profile for all good things in the world.
I'll accept that.
Yeah. Do you want to do the Sephora quiz?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. So if you go on the Sephora website, not that that's the end all be all of where to buy perfume.
No.
But they have a lot of quizzes of which mascara should you buy or which lipstick should you buy? And they have a fragrance one. So we thought it would be fun to do that.
Which we also were just joking before we started this episode that have you taken the quizzes before?
I've taken some of them.
Okay. I've never taken any of them because I always pull that Ron Swanson meme where it's just I know more than you. Don't tell me what kind of skin I have.
I agree with you there. I really don't often ask somebody a sales associate in store for their opinion.
Yeah.
But sometimes I like to do the quizzes just because they might show me something on the website that I haven't found.
Yeah.
That's my only feels. Okay. Fragrance finder?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the options. There's something for myself, a gift for her, or a gift for him. I'm going to go with something for myself.
Myself. Where's your happy place?
You want to read the options?
Yeah, a refreshing citrus orchard, a flower-filled garden, a warm, cozy coffee shop, and a tree-lined hiking trail.
I like 3 of the 4, to be honest.
Yeah, I like also 3 of the 4.
I like everything except for a flower-filled garden.
I would like either a citrus orchard or a coffee shop, but I don't want to smell like a coffee shop.
I'm going to go with a tree-lined hiking trail because I feel like my instinct is always to go with the citrus. And
Yeah.
I, at this point, have tried them all.
I have not, so I'm going to go with citrus.
Okay.
Would you like to shop clean fragrances?
I'm going to say no preference.
Damn.
This is the part that I don't like. How do you usually shop? Bestsellers or top rated? Listen,
Neither.
it's 2020. I sort by price.
Not only that, but like just show me all of them. I don't care if it's a bestseller or top. Well, I guess I care if it's top rated, but like just show me all of my options.
I'm going to go with top rated.
Same. Oh, that's just it? They just made... Okay, the only discerning question in this is where your happy place is.
Pretty much.
I'm going to make a very bold statement and say this is a dumb quiz. Hey,
Yeah.
Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue showed up for me.
I got Tom Ford Tuscan Leather, which will be out of my price range for the entirety of my life. But I'm still curious as to the fragrance description. It says it's warm and spicy. The scent type is woody spices, which we already know that I like that little crossover. Keynotes are saffron, thyme, olibanum, new word for me, leather, black suede, and amberwood thyme. Inspired by Tom Ford's love of ridiculously expensive things. It doesn't say that. Inspired by Tom Ford's love of fine leather, this ultra sexy interpretation captures the primal, animalistic scent of leather and its smooth, voluptuous qualities. A modern classic, the addition of olibanum, night blooming jasmine, and black suede gives it a distinctive modern spin that is raw yet refined, sensual yet sophisticated. Deep and animalistic night blooming jasmine and black suede bring a distinctive texture that is raw yet refined. Listen, Tom Ford, if it's animalistic, it shouldn't be freaking $240 for 1.7 ounces.
Yeah. Excuse me, Tom Ford. Where do you get off charging $325 for a full-size bottle?
Here's my thing. It's $150 for an ounce. We've already established that Joe Malone is a fairly expensive brand, and their ounce is $70.
Yeah, this is wild. Wild, because I got Tom Ford Sol de Positano, which is lemon. Oh, sorry, I'm too poor to read these ingredients.
Okay, I'm looking it up. Lemon petitgrain?
Yep.
Okay, basically there's lemon, shiso leaf, and green moss and sandalwood. We skipped all the things we can't pronounce.
It says it's brilliant, sunlit, inviting. Introducing Sol de Positano, a bright new dimension bursting with luxurious melange of sun-drenched citrus.
I have to admit, it sounds like it smells really good. The delectable new scent from the Neroli Portofino collection evokes the dreamlike brilliance of the Italian coast with succulent bite. A masterful blend of Italian bergamot, some other thing I can't pronounce, lemon, and mandarin gleams with the sharp contrast of shiso leaf reflecting the sunlit vibrancy.
As John Steinbeck once said, Positano is a dream place that isn't quite real when you are there and becomes beckoningly real once you have gone.
I mean,
Tom Ford.
If it came in a mini size, I would think about it. But as it stands, I'm not prepared to spend $240 on a 1.7 ounce.
Me neither. This is fun.
I don't like that it only gives you like 8 options.
Yeah, that was the other thing. So I don't think that quiz is very good.
It's not great.
But I did learn a lot from that wheel that we talked about in the beginning.
That's the other thing. Particularly if you're on Sephora, you can shop by fragrance family, and it gives you floral, fresh, warm and spicy, or earthy and woody.
Yeah.
So if I just click earthy and woody, there's 172 results. And
Yeah.
the quiz is only showing me the top 6 or top 8. This isn't MySpace, guys.
Very bizarre. But this
Nothing
kind of
for my
like
MySpace reference?
I did love it. I probably will be searching the like Sephora value sets for perfumes.
Yeah.
Just because as someone who only has like 1 or 2 perfumes, I would love to be able to try a bunch of different kinds.
I also like if you go under fragrance type, it shows you the breakdown too. It's not just earthy and woody, but you can do citrus and woods, or fresh citrus and fruits, or woody spices. That's really cool. That's actually, while I absolutely yes, I support supporting smaller brands and local businesses and not necessarily always shopping on Sephora. If you're really like starting from square one, the way that you can filter and search for things is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Do we want to come to a wrap up?
I don't have one. I learned a lot of things. I like things that smell nice to me.
Yeah, I like what I like.
That's what I've learned.
No, I actually feel good knowing that I learned how to pair scents and like what everything means on the wheel. And like that wheel was super helpful just because I always walk around saying, yeah, I like tropical smells, but like not understanding that something that has like a bergamot mid-tone could still be a tropical smell, because I feel like I'll look at someone, dismiss it because I'm like, well, I don't want that ingredient. It doesn't have a tropical smell. And it's just
right.
like,
And now you know that if it's floral and fresh, it might have, like if it's categorized under one of those, it might still meet your criteria.
Exactly. I also now want to try something that smells like spicy chai tea.
I wonder if you would like any of the commodity fragrances. I actually didn't talk about my like all-time favorite perfume ever.
Go. We'll end it on a high note. Tell me your favorite perfume.
It's called Book. It's when Commodity said that they were going out of business, I like genuinely had a small meltdown that I was never going to be able to buy it again. It says, this crisp, woody fragrance tips its hat to the Hemingways and Fitzgeralds of the world, conjuring the warmth of a quiet moment curled up with a good book. Its complex blend of sparkling bergamot, spicy cypress, and creamy sandalwood results in an unexpectedly fresh scent. So the top notes, which we already learned, are immediately upon application, are Virginian cedarwood, bois de rose, eucalyptus, and bergamot. The mid notes, which appear once the top notes evaporate, are Alaskan cypress, amorous, and amber. And then the final fragrance notes are musk, sandalwood, and velvet.
I've got to say, if there was ever a perfume to be your favorite of all time, that is the description that fits you, the whole like book.
Hemingways and Fitzgeralds, and like it's fresh and kind of old-timey. If you're like not quite in the right mindset to accept it, it's kind of smells like cucumbers. I think that this might be like a good introduction to you of like starting to explore outside of the tropical, because it still has that really like fresh and kind of fruity because it's got the bergamot up front, and then it like evolves into, I think this is one of my favorites because I think it suits every weather.
Yeah.
Like it works in bright sunshine in the summer, and then it works on rainy, gross days too. I mean, I guess I'll do. It's like lipstick. When my mom will be like, you're wearing a very bright lipstick for the middle of the day. I'm like, it's a great lipstick for the middle of the day because it's the middle of the day and I'm wearing it. But I think there's like, in certain moods, you think of certain feelings and smells.
Yeah.
And I think it has like enough complexity that can work with any of them.
Yeah, I think that this episode really made me want to go on like a sampler tour of different kind of fragrances.
I feel like I've always really dismissed those Sephora favorites perfume collections.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really understand them and I found them really overwhelming. And now I'm like, oh, I actually like kind of understand what these words mean now.
Yeah.
I might be more open to the sampler situation.
Yeah. This was fun. I hope that these smells were not too abstract for everybody.
If you've made it this far and you're still on board, comment on the blog post or on our Instagram post about perfumes and tell us what your favorite fragrances are, whether it's perfume, candles, lotion, whatever. Tell us what you like. Beautybirdspodcast.com, Instagram at beautybirdspodcast, on Facebook /beautybirdspodcast. Chat with us, talk to us about smells. I'll be sure to include our research in the blog post also, and you can see those visuals for yourselves.
All right. Glad to be back.
So nice to be back. And we'll see all y'all next week.
Peace out.
Bye.